Welcome everybody and good evening. This is Mr. Bear from Conducting Music for episode 6 of our Steam Corner live streams. Today we're going to be talking a little bit more about Scratch and how to make wonderful pieces of music with it. So the way I'm going to discuss things is as if I were talking to a classroom of years 3 and 4. For those of you not based in England, that would be pretty much 7, 8, 9 years old. So wherever you are on our streaming platform, welcome to you all. I hope you'll enjoy this, and as always, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon if you're on YouTube, like us on Facebook and on Twitch, and we're also live on LiveXP. So I hope you'll enjoy this. Feel free to drop us a comment in the chat at any stage. I've got it here on my streaming software, but also if you're looking at this perhaps not in real time, feel free to drop us a comment, especially if you've got some interesting content that you'd like to be featured, because obviously this is a flexible thing. If you join us live and you've got a question about a project that you've been working on and perhaps was part of one of our courses, please do feel free to drop us a question. We're always happy to help. Once again, this is Steam Corner, and I'm Mr. Bear from Conducting Music. Huge thanks as always to the Arts Council England and our Music Education Hub partners for the sponsors. And let's delve right into Scratch Music Part 2. Okay, so as always, don't forget our website, which is conductingmusic.uk. We're always happy to have you here, guys. And in particular today, we're going to move on to Scratch. So for Scratch, it's very easy. We go to scratch.mit.edu. That's quite straightforward. That's an easy one, isn't it? And once you're in, you can create your own account. Now, you've got 3 options, guys. 3 options. 1, 2, 3. Option 1. Not to create an account, in which case you can make the same work, but you cannot save it and you cannot share it. Once again, if you decide not to make an account, you can still do the work, but you cannot save it and nor share it. Option 2, you can make an account by using a fake email, which is fine. You will be able to save, but you will not be able to share. Option 3, if you have the authorization from your parents and or teachers, and you create an account with a real existing email, in that case you will be able to save and share. If you want to know more about this, please go back to our episode number 2. You'll find it live on YouTube, on Facebook, and on Twitch and LiveXP. So just search for Steam Corner number 2, episode 2, and that's where we explain how to create this Scratch account. So for today, I'm going to give it for granted, and I'm going to go quite quick on the first few steps so that we can cover a little bit more ground, because that's always a lot of fun. So first things first, we need to attach the music block. Actually, I'm gonna turn off a little bit the music blocks with this. Once again, I have just used that blue button at the bottom, okay? So it's here, and off you go. Now, I can set up different characters and different backgrounds. So, like I did last time, I'm gonna grab 3 characters and just maybe a couple of backgrounds. So I'm gonna use the surprise to see what comes up. So I've got a unicorn, I've got a snake, okay, and I've got a lightning, sorry. There we go, that looks quite alright, I guess, depending on the size. There we go, it should be like that, perfect. And then the next thing, I'm going to add a backdrop, and again, I'm going to use the surprise function. So, oh, that doesn't look that good. Okay, never mind. So if I want to delete it, you see up here, backdrop, and just hit the bin and go again. Let's get a surprise backdrop. Where are we? Okay, there's a party. Let's get another one, surprise. And yeah, that's not so impressed tonight. Not so impressed tonight. Let's see. You can choose one from here. Where is our Jurassic? Okay, Jurassic. I like that. Okay, fine. So we've got the Jurassic and the party, and now I can delete the white backdrop. So let's say that they meet at a party. That's the first things first. Okay, so what we did last time was to associate some codes to each of these animals. So if you remember, we had... Oh, sorry. If you remember, we had a few different options here. So, for the music, you find it at the bottom, and you can, let's see, what does the snake play? Let's choose. Let me get an instrument for the snake. Let's say that the snake plays one note at a time. So an instrument that can play one note at a time, I'm gonna say is the, for today, the wooden flute. Okay, no problem. Then we wanted to go to the events so that when the, sorry, not this one, my mistake. When the sprite gets clicked, there we go, in this case is the snake, the instrument is set to wooden flute, and then we need to decide a few notes. Now actually it was a month ago, guys, we were looking at different type of instruments, different type of notes, and my suggestion was, if you're really unsure of which notes to use, well then just stick to the white keys, which put together create the C major scale, or stick to the black keys, which put together create the E flat pentatonic minor scale. Both scales sound very cool, they're alright. Today I'm gonna use a slightly different one just to give some variety. I'm gonna use the D minor scale. So it's gonna have D, it's gonna have F, G, A, and C. Once again, D, F, G, A, C. So I'm just gonna create a little, there we go, a little melody, and let's see, we can listen to it, see what we think, a little bit more advanced than last time. And if you are unsure of what I'm doing, again, please check episode 2, but I was just right-clicking and changing the, sorry, making a copy, a duplicate. So that's very straightforward. Now, if I press here, it's going to be very boring because it's the same note all the time. In terms of rhythm, I'm sure you'll be quite interested as well. If you leave at 0.25, that is nothing but a quarter of a beat, so a semi-quaver, if you study music, or a 16 note. What I like to do is a little bit of a mixture, so I'm gonna do it a bit at random at the moment, okay? So I'm gonna select notes from that list, and give me a minute, guys, be very quick. Let's see. Now the notes have all got the same rhythm. Let's see what happens. Not bad, not bad. Okay. Now, the next step before I carry on, I want to check that the total of this is equal to a unit. Why? Because then if I loop this, then it goes in sync with the others. So let's see if it's true. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 notes give me one beat. 1, 2, 3, and 4 is another beat. 1, 2, 3, and just underneath here is another beat. Okay, so it looks like I've got a 3-beat pattern. That's good. So if I test it on the snake, I should be able to hear 3 beats. 1, okay. Oh, sorry. Press green. No? What am I doing? Ah, it's the lightning. Sorry, guys. Just a second. That's it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. That seems to be working fine. It's quite happy. No problem. I wanted the snake to do it, but it's okay. This is the little mistake that I made. I didn't select the correct sprite. Let's go back to the horse, and I think the horse with the hoofs can probably be our drummer. So same block. I'm gonna go to the controls. When the horse is clicked or tapped on, a little bit of zoom so you can see better, I'm going to create a rhythm. So maybe let's try tum tum ta, tum tum ta, tum tum ta, tum tum ta, something simple, which is bass, kick, snare. Oh, sorry, don't need to say anything yet. But this is a cool function, guys. If you wanna drop comments for other people that look at your code, obviously that's the way to do it. Be polite as always, that's very important. So we have kick, snare, tum tum ka, tum tum ka. I think this rhythm gonna need to do something like this. Sorry. As always, when you create it, it takes a little bit longer. See? Okay, that's it. I want to have to-tum. So it needs to be a quicker note. So it's going to be a 0.25 followed by a 0.5. In terms of music, you can think of these as quaver, quaver, dotted quaver, quaver, semiquaver, quaver. Let's see if it's true. That's it. It's just missing a snare, and that should be a 0.5, and the job is done. I'm gonna go to my control to repeat it. By default, it says 10. It's not very good. I'm gonna use 4 or multiples of 4. Let's try. Okay. I'm missing a note. There we go. I need one more note, and I think I need let's see, open hi-hat. 1, okay, that's it, it works. So there was a question last time on how I can synchronize them. Why? Well, because there's this issue if I just try and click it. So let's see here. I'm gonna do drums first, yeah? So I got quite lucky. So basically they were in sync. But to be honest, it was a little bit of guesswork because when you use the mouse, there is a little bit of delay, right? So there are a few things that you can do. There are a few different options. So I'm just gonna go through it. And obviously, if you know of anything, feel free to drop a comment. I've got access to all the platform here, so happy to respond to you guys. But anyways, let's do the simplest one. I need to warn you though that this is only available on the computer version, not on the iPad. But please don't worry, because in a minute I'm going to show you an iPad solution as well. So instead of using when this sprite is clicked, I'm going to use a keyboard hit of anything really. Instead of using the space, I'm going to use A, and I'm going to do exactly the same for the lightning. You see, I'm going to leave this block there. Gonna use when the sprite is when the key is pressed, and A. Now when I press letter A on my computer, it's going to trigger both the unicorn and the the lightning at the same time. 3, 2, 1. It did work, except that the thunder, again, the lightning is a bit short, so I'm gonna loop it with the repeat. And if you remember, this one was 3 beats long, the other one was 4 beats long. So if I do 4 times 4 is 16, they're not gonna meet very often, are they? Because this is gonna be a 3 times 4, 12. Let's try. So this is a 3 beats pattern. I'm just gonna do it 4 times. Sure, it will end earlier, but it should be good enough. So this is a solution to make them work at the same time. Here we go. Not bad. Okay, so this one worked. And what is the iPad solution instead? Well, obviously, there is a few. The simplest one, to be honest, is depending on which iPad or which tablet you are using, you can just tap the 2 sprites at the same time, and that will work. However, if you want it to be very, very precise, here's the deal. So we go back to the when this sprite is clicked, yeah? But instead of sequencing one thing after the other, which makes it a little bit time consuming, I'm going to create multiple versions of this. In particular, 3 things. So I wanted to choose the instrument. Okay, perfect, good, done. I wanted to play the sequence. Yeah, okay, good, perfect. But I also wanted to send a message. So you see this block here on the left-hand side under control, under events, it's broadcast message 1. So when I tap the when I tap the lightning, it's going to trigger the unicorn at the same time because it's going to set the instrument, it's going to send a message and play this sequence. Now, if I go into the unicorn, instead of using these blocks that we have used, we need to say when the message is received. So when I receive message 1, which is sent by the lightning, then do something. I'm going to click with the mouse, and you can do the same on your iPad, and you will see that it triggers both the lightning and the unicorn. 1, 2, off we go. Okay, so these were the 3 different ways. Obviously, you don't have to memorize everything now because this video is on the stream. It's going to stay there, so you can always rewind it. But here you go. You can use the sprite clicked. You can use the key pressed. Unfortunately, this is a laptop-only possibility. And then you can send a message. Obviously, one of the sprites need to send a message and the other one needs to receive it. You can customize the messages by clicking on new message and give it a different name. It could be pattern 1, it could be called solo, it could be chorus, it could be anything. And obviously, you don't need it to start immediately. Let me show you how this can work. Let's say that the snake is a piano player. And let's say that we don't want the piano on the first loop of the drums. Okay, so let's see how I can send it. I'm gonna broadcast it, but instead of broadcasting at the beginning, I'm gonna broadcast it at the end. So this is going to go all the way to the bottom of this and then send the message. But I don't want to send the message 1, otherwise message 1 triggers a loop and the drums are gonna go on forever until it crashes. So I want to send maybe piano chords, because this is something that we haven't taken a look at last month actually. So here we go with the snake. The snake will start playing when it receives message 1. And there we go. Okay, not message 1, but piano chords. So when I receive piano chords, I want to play piano chords. How on earth am I going to be able to play piano chords? Well, here's the deal. You need to have 3 separate blocks. 1, 2, and 3. And I do apologize, I need to zoom out a little bit. Okay, so 1, 2, and 3. So here's what we can do. The drum loop, here we go, is 1 bar long. In other words, 4 beats. How do I know this? Well, I just add up these numbers. Or you can just go by ear, to be honest. But here it is. This is a beat. This 75 and 25 is another beat. 0505 is the 3rd beat. And this is the 4th beat. So there you go. You got 4 beats. So if you want the snake to play in sync, we need to add up to 4 beats. So perhaps let's try and make it so that it plays together with the drums. So we need 0505, 75 break, 05, and then perhaps I'm just going to use 1 here as a long note. So once again, chord, chord, rest, chord, long chord. Okay, let's see if I can make it real quick. So this is a 05, chord, chord, rest, and I can just check the rest of my snare drum is 075, so no problem. Just copy the numbers. In music, once again, this is a dotted quaver. Dun, dun, da. Okay, carry on. There is a 05 note, so a quaver, and this one, we're gonna add it together. So step by step, a 05 note here, and here we go. And then once more, I need to add up these numbers. So this is 1, 1.5, 1.75. So 1.75 as a last note. 1.75. Let's see if they link up. Yeah, they work together. So it's quite nice. It's quite nice. It's quite nice. And let's create the chords. So we were on D minor. So let me just create a very quick chord for you guys. So this is D, D, D. Actually, if you already studied chords, I'm just going to do a very simple progression, 1, 4, 5, 2, 1. If you haven't studied this, not to worry. And actually, look, I'm going to do just a very simple scale. I'm going to get rid of these so I can go an octave lower. So it's a bit more mysterious sounding. Almost there. There we go. Now I can duplicate this and I can use the second note. So this is a D, this was F. So I'm gonna cheat a little bit with the notes. This was our G, and this finally was our A. So I'm gonna go this way. Don't worry if you're not sure which notes I'm using. I suggest the best step for you guys is to use random notes from the scale that you've been using already. Okay, I repeat, use random notes from the scale that you've been using already, and that should more or less do a good result. So let's see if it's working now. I'm triggering the full screen so you can see better. I'm triggering the first instrument and everything should follow. 1, 2, off we go. So let's see what's happening. First, inwards. The thunder, again, the lightning, is starting its flute solo. At the end of the first part, actually no, at the same time, it triggers the 4 repetitions of the unicorn. However, the unicorn is playing 4 bars, so 4, 4. This one, instead, is only playing 3, 4. So that's why they are a little bit out of sync. They have the same rhythm, but the thunder, the lightning, well, this is going to be called thunder from now on, that's it, is shorter. At the end of the first drum pattern, the snake takes off. And also, at the end of the last drum pattern, the snake has a little solo. So let's see how this looks in code. We have created 3 different options, one with the A key pressed, one with the, actually let's get some music, one with the A key pressed, one when the sprite is clicked, and obviously one with the message sending. So these were the 3 options that trigger the different animals in this case, but it could be absolutely anything you like. We use the repeat block to have the repetition of a melody. Obviously you can nest one inside the other as we did last time. I suggest make sure that when you have a rhythm, excuse me, when you have a rhythm, it adds up to a unit, meaning 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because in that case the rhythm is a little bit more cohesive. Then the drums come up here, and to make the drums the solid backbone of our song, I stuck to a 4/4 rhythm. At the end of each repetition, if you see here, so when it receives message 1, everything starts. But at the end of this, it triggers the piano chords. This is quite cool because the drums happen first, then you trigger the piano. So on the second iteration, the drums and the piano are happening together. On the third, together. On the fourth, they're together. But at the end of the fourth, if you read through, scroll down with your eyes, the drum is still triggering the snake once again. And this is why it lets the snake play an extra part. Okay, so this is how everything worked. Let's say that for the snake solo, we want to change the backdrop. How do we do that? Well, we need to create another message at the end of the drums, but this time, instead of putting it inside, oh, hi, Shiles. Nice to meet you. Thank you for joining us. I hope you're enjoying the stream. Instead of putting it inside the block, I'm putting it underneath. No. Stop. There we go. Why am I putting it underneath? Okay, let's take a look. If I put it inside, sorry guys, I'm just gonna zoom in now. If I put it inside, this message is gonna be broadcasted 4 times. And I don't want it 4 times, I just want it to do once at the end. So once the drums are finished and the hello pizza crust, welcome back. Whenever we've got the end of the drums and we want to go into the snake part, that's what we can do. So I'm gonna create a new message and I'm gonna say this is the snake solo. Solo is when they are playing just by themselves. Oh, sorry. Yes, the snake is playing by itself. So here we go. I'm gonna go into my backdrops, and make a little code here. So this is where we start at, okay? But I can use exactly the same blocks. So if I go to when message is received, what is that? Here you go. Oh, sorry. There we go. So when it's receiving snake solo, which is at the end of the bar of the drums, well then I need to go to the next backdrop. That's it. Okay? So once again, this is what's happening. The drums are playing 4 times, yeah? First time, then trigger the snake. Second time, trigger the snake. Third time, trigger the snake, and so forth. But after the 4th time, it doesn't only trigger the snake, it also triggers the snake solo, which is our change of background. And let's see if it's true. I'm gonna start, and I promise you, I'm just clicking up here, nothing else. Here we go from the thunder, the lightning, sorry. Okay, did you see that happening? So once again, this is the last change that we have just done. Okay, it doesn't save for probably because I don't have enough internet available at the moment. Never mind. So, but this is the unicorn, yeah? It's playing the pattern 4 times, and at the end of each iteration is gonna trigger the little solo by the snake. But on the very last one, we want the broadcast, the snake, to be playing solo. And what you can do, for example, which is pretty cool, is you can make these disappear. So, for example, I think there is a hide. There we go. So you see this block hide. I can make the the unicorn disappear when it receives the message. So when, okay, not this one. When the message is received, there we go. When I receive the message, snake solo disappears. And then the lightning, I'm gonna do exactly the same thing. When I receive the message snake solo, I want to disappear. So the snake is actually by itself. Where is he gone? A little further up. There we go, hide. Okay, one last time for this marvelous piece of music. I'm gonna stop my backing track, and here you go, coming through. Get ready. They have disappeared. They have gone into the next backdrop, sorry, and everything has happened as we intended it. So once again, as a quick summary of what I've quickly set up today, first of all, if some of these things were not clear, make sure to watch the second episode. That will be Steam Corner number 2, because that's really where the Scratch account was made. So here we go. Okay. Well, first of all, thank you for watching. What we did today was go back into Scratch and create 3 different characters and 2 backdrops. The backdrops are the background to your game. We added the music blocks by clicking on the extensions, which is the blue button at the bottom. If you're not sure, once again, it's on, all explanation is on Steam Corner episode 2. Once we did that, we opened up a flute solo, which was very simple, and we started coding in some notes. You just need to make the bridge between music and math here. That's why it's very beautiful and interesting, because each note has got a specific duration. So 1 would be a crotchet, 0.5 would be half of that, right? So it's a quaver, and or an eighth. And half that, once again, is 0.25, so it's a semiquaver, and so forth. A minim would be 2, a semibreathe would be 4, and off you go. The beautiful thing here is that because we're following maths rules and not musical rules, we can create completely mad musical rhythms. Because one rhythm is 0.378. It doesn't exist, but you can make it. So try it, give it a shot. We use the loop, which is basically a clamp that repeats a certain number of notes. And obviously you can make a loop within a loop, something like that, sorry. within a loop. So you can make many of these things happen at the same time. We coordinated the various melodies and rhythms by 3 different means. Now, if you're on a computer, you can add the computer keyboard strokes. So when A is pressed, when B is pressed. And that was one system. Second system is when the sprite is touched, which obviously on iPad you can tap at the same time on 2 places. On the computer, no, because obviously with the mouse you can only click on 1. So that's the other side of the coin. Then we use the message sending and receiving. Remember that you can send a pretty much limitless amount of messages. Just keep them tidy, and when you create a new message, instead of calling them message 1, 2, and 3, same way as we do with the variables in video game coding, please make them memorable. So snake solo, drum solo, chorus, ending, something like that. We apply the same coding rules to the backdrops. Everything stays the same. That's the interesting part. What I didn't do today is, which we actually touched on episode 2, was the animation part, which means you can make them play at the same time. And I'll say goodbye with one last concept. Coding works vertically. So if you put music up here and then the animation up down here, the music is going to happen first, and only at the end of the music blocks, you're going to have the animation. However, if you want them to happen at the same time, you're going to have to add 2 triggers. For example, when button A is pressed and you make it twice, or when the sprite is touched and you make it twice. Exactly the same systems as the chords for the snake. So, guys, I hope you enjoy this, and please let us know in the comment below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you get notified of the new content. I will see you next Wednesday with another Steam Corner. That will be episode 7, dedicated to the years 5 and 6. Probably back into the musical video games. And as always, if you've got any questions or comments, please don't forget, just drop us a message, drop us an email. We're only a few keystrokes away. Until then, stay curious. Have a lovely evening, everybody. And this is Mr. Bird from Conducting Music, checking out for the day. Until the next one, stay curious. Bye.